Yep, sure. This microphone's coming, I guess. Oh, here, there's somebody here. Sorry, there's somebody else first, I think.
Tell us about some experience that you or Ubisoft have had trying to build a game from scratch and making it a hit. Because a lot of work that you do revolves around existing franchises and existing properties. But if you could share some experience of, because even within Ubisoft, I'm sure there are two kinds of missions to build something from scratch. And try to capture a market.
Okay.
Share some experience of building a hit would be great.
So the question is, can I share some experience on building something from scratch? Because what we're doing usually in Ubisoft is to create sequel or games that are part of an existing franchise. I will give you again this image of Apple. I don't think there is one single creation that doesn't have roots in the past or its history. And I don't think that creating a game that is part of a franchise means that you cannot be creative. When you're working on a sequel or when you're working on a game that has a legacy, the amount of excellence that is needed to create quality is the same than creating a new IP. I know it's everybody's game designer's dream to create an IP. Usually that's because they want to create the game for themselves. So I did try to create an IP. That's when I lost €1 million. And I think we're not humble enough, and we're not looking at the competition, and we did not understand what it was taking to create something that's great. So I almost don't want to answer your question, because I think that it's a youth mistake, to try to think that Nirvana is creating something exactly from scratch. There's independent developers, and art is there. And if you want to do something just by yourself that is totally new and absolutely fresh, I love contemporary art. I love it. It's just not the same thing than creating games.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
If you're talking about building something from scratch, for a team with a limited budget within Ubisoft, you could identify with the specific issues.
Okay. So I think don't forget that you're doing a product. Don't forget that you're doing to create content that is going to be played by a wide audience. So think of your game positioned in a market, benchmark it with the competition, and try to have ideas or visuals that resonate within a community conscious mythology, history. If you try to create something that doesn't have roots in people's mind or imagination, it's going to be off.
Yeah, I had a quick question on technology. Between your global operations and your India center, how do you ensure that the latest technology for developing games is part of your India center, that there is no technology gap and so on?
Part of Game Center?
You have a development center here in Pune, right?
A center, a studio, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the technology part of it, right? Whether it's rendering or other tools or development platforms, whatever is available to your global teams, is it kind of immediately available to the team here, or is there a gap? And how do you ensure that the team here is kind of plugged in on the latest technologies?
Okay, so the question is, how do I ensure that the team here working in Ubisoft India are exposed to the latest technologies?
Exactly.
Okay. They're not. The latest technologies today, teams in Ubisoft are working for the next-gen consoles. Technology is building, nothing is finished yet. The technologies that you're working on in Ubisoft, they're stable and mature technologies. It's because our mission today in Ubisoft India is not to create games for the X70, 120. It's something else, so you need to get the right technology for the right mission. That said, even when you're working with very high-end technologies, team tends to forget that what is the most important is the stability of the tools rather than the features themselves. Again, if you have beautiful, wonderful technology with crazy visual features and latest physics, and it takes you so much time to create any single bit of content because it's unstable or because the tools are too heavy, the final end result is going to be much weaker than working with a medium technology that's very, very spread and mature. Don't be ambitious in the way you define and solidify your pipeline. Don't just be ambitious in the ideas and the will of creating an amazing technology. It's use tools that work well.
Thank you.
What are the challenges that you faced when you acquired Pune studio from Gameloft?
Wow. So I was not here when the studio was acquired, so maybe I should call some of the guys here, like my cheerleaders. Do you want to answer? Does somebody want to answer? Yeah? Jitin? Yeah. Come here. So Jitin is producer in the studio. He just released a game that's not out yet on the Nintendo 3DS, and he's working on the iOS and Android now.